See him looking up, be like, Trike, come on, man, where is... Murado. He's gonna need to find something else here. Or stuck to doing some little baby looting here. Some buildings.
But they should be alright.
Yeah, they should be plenty. They'll have plenty of time here to get looted up.
Yeah, they're fairly central on this one. They could potentially break out towards some of the areas in Crater Field to send some looting over there. Alura as well, likely to head towards like a idea. Maybe try and hold some of the hills. Post down south. Aurora gets the target practice in. Yep, that bush is gone. That's no points for that though. Unfortunately, shrubbery does not count towards your elimination.
Hey, you always got to check the bush, all right? You never know. You never know. There could be a random player hiding in that one. And you're going to see QZZ get his Murado, so he's going to be driving fast down the lane. But yeah, got to get the fingers warmed up here.
Ooh, I'm seeing a duo from Aurora kind of chasing Quick from Alura up north near La Correria. Seems like they wanted to try and get engaged with that fight, but I don't think they've been able to hunt it down. Quick just a little bit too. Hang on a minute. They are back on the road again. And Quick is turning tail, moving back towards the rest of the roster for Alura. In the middle of La Correria, they're still hiding out. He has to dunk it out by the concretes. Now he's holding on the upstairs. Backup needs to come through, but currently no response really being seen from the rest of Alura. They're leaving him kind of high and dry as Jiggle from Aura is going to try and descend on this location too. Finally, they're into the vehicles and they're coming in for the rescue. Will it be too little too late as Quick has to go for the hot swap for the UMP juice?
What a sick shot with that shotgun. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit the mark enough to get a knock. And you can see Sleepy, he ended up going to the other side there because he doesn't have a vest at all. He wanted to be able to at least get something. But because of this fight, now you got the rest of Aula being able to hunt them down. You also see some of the other members of Aura going to come and try and support these three men. Can he get the shot? No, unfortunately, Rep doesn't get it. It is a 3v3 from this close end, but the fourth is coming, and that off angle. Let's see how this turns out.
I mean, when you have that south side hill on the lock and key for no fear, if he's going to get engaged here into the fight, maybe not, maybe more preoccupied with some loot, they say, you know what, it's fine, we got this under control. They're not pushing, they're being timid. They have lost the player so early, it's not what you want to see. A very aggressive roll down coming through from Aura in that scenario. Did not want to let Quick get away. I thought maybe they had stopped off a little bit before, but no. They just kept on going, kept hounding that one down. It's worked out here. The question now for me is, as I always talk about with early engagements, how long are you going to spend getting stuck in on this one?
That's the exact question, right? So I like what Aura did, right? They saw a solo player, chase him down, get the secured point. That's fine. I'm starting to wonder what Aula's doing. Yep, because of the fact that they are taking way too long. They are getting caught out, and now here comes Aura on the push. Sky running in with the UMP, looking to get those finishes, and they are on the run. Nasser trying to at least get some angles here. Ooh, hits the crouch in, but it's not going to be good enough. It's Aura to delete the first squad here on day 2 of the finals.
Every player getting their elim. Horror getting stuck in early on Miramar. 4 eliminations for the team, 1 apiece. Sleepy will get back to his feet, and they can look to re-establish control back down towards Crater Fields. They may need a little bit more loot on side, depending on how much was going through. I think I did spot a Winchester on one of the players for Horror, so probably looking to get that one replaced. Although there will be crates on the players coming through from Alula as well. In the meantime, though, Godlike has managed to capitalize on this opportunity from this northeast side. They've managed to move in and could contest for the Crater Heels approach.
All right, yeah, you can see these movements coming out really, really quick. Leaderboards, you can see right there on the right of your screen here, folks. E-Arena up on top, waiting to see when Godlike's going to wake up. They definitely need to here today. They're sitting in 14th place with 13 points. Let's see if they can do it. There's still plenty of matches here to be played here, folks. I have a big feeling these leaderboards are going to get shaken up big time by the end of the day.
I mean, we talked about it yesterday a little bit, that 18 match sets, generally you can put more stock into your averages performance rather than those big E-Arena 29 elimmers kind of coming on through.
Yeah.
Which, even then, didn't serve them too well in a 12 match set, which is absolutely insane. But, yeah, absolutely. I'm talking about getting consistent 6-pointers on the boards is so great for your team. If you can do that, every time you get further than that, brilliant. Beautiful stuff. Furia running into a little bit of a roadblock in the form of Enigma Galaxy, but a 1v1 over the top of the hill. Silence shuts him out. And Lord will no longer be able to levy the toll on the crossing. And Furia may even be able to get the res here for Enigma Galaxy. It is not a good start. In 3rd place, you don't want to be losing players early, not like this.
That was a huge shot there from Silence with the DBS in the mid-range. Is able to get the knock. Very, very crucial. Instant thirst as well. So you can see Coops is going to be hunting down some high ground, trying to get the revenge for his teammate, but Ayala is climbing this up as well. Is Coops going to see him? He does! He finds Silent slipping. Now he's going to go for the 1v2.
Uh-oh.
Got to watch out for that shotgun, though. Oh, that did tip him up a little bit. Coops so good in the CQC, though. Push it back and forth, finds the angles, and catches the 1v2 against Furia.
He baited out so many of the shotgun shells, forced the weapon swap. He knew he had a disadvantage against the shotgun there and was able to do a lot of work. This is vengeance coming through for Coops, and Furia left flagging. Unfortunate. Silence may be resible here as Chief sidles in to go for the res. There is another fight happening on your elimination feeds as well as 4 Thrives clash with Team Flash on the south side. 4 Thrives doing well. A nade over the top, and Coops goes for 3 now against Furia, who took one of their players down, but they are finding out what it feels like to be under the wrath of Coops. Turning his attention out now to the open sand dunes, but not going to quite connect on the first part of the spray down. Looks for more.
Ooh, headshot! Oh. Are you kidding me? That is Coops with the 1v4 against Furia.
Beautiful stuff coming on through from Coops. Furia needed to keep that one together. That was not looking tidy. Flash, in the meantime, have now been dragged down to 1 on the south side as 4 Thrives are going to be the main benefactors of that, getting 3 elims. I think, yeah, they're the team that has taken down all 3 players so far from Flash. Aurora, a little bit further afield in those Picado hills to the north side of it. They are not going to contest it just yet. So for 4 Thrives, they now have to move in because we did see a fairly hard east shift on this zone.
Yeah, that eastern shift is going to get these teams moving here pretty quickly. And yeah, 4 Thrives. They are not in the zone just yet. They're right on the south side of San Martin. They're going to be just kind of making sure they get their vehicles going, choosing for the buggy. All right, they're all set up, and now going to find a spot in this next zone. As far as teams that are not here yet, you're going to be looking at Nosham Red Force. They're all the way down in Los Leones. They're still in the blue zone here, so they're going to be one of the teams pushing the latest into this circle. They are in 12th place right now with 21 points. But with this zone shift like this, it definitely buys you a lot of time here. So the most important thing is just rotating very carefully, not trying to get shot out of your vehicle. Play things very, very calculated. You can see Tianba already set up in these buildings near water treatment. And this is where they're going to park themselves for as long as possible.
Oh, yeah. You're just going to hold out for the time being. See if you can hold down on these houses. Just trading shots. Ooh.
Oh!
Crazy's found himself a big green gun.
That's my favorite. The AWM. I want to see some snipes, man. Nothing gets me more excited than see a crazy flick headshot to turn the game around. Let's see what Razy can do. He's got the 8x too. Let's see what this replay. Coops, pow, gets the knock on to Silence. Wins the clutch 1v1 here against Ayala. Look at the terrain usage from Coops here, just beautiful. Yeah, that's what I was highlighting before, right? That shotgun bait coming through from Coops, picking up so quickly and back down, dodging the shells coming through, and again, forcing that weapon swap. He knows that he's going to have the advantage, or at least be on a level playing field and can do that. The nade on target, yeah, right. Furia just didn't seem to understand how to compete against this high ground position. I'm not too sure what more they could have done there, maybe just not engaged on that spot to begin with. But yeah, it's a little unfriendly. Next circle comes on through, and that will take us back down towards San Martin on that south side, keeps the hills to the southwest of water treatment. Hacienda all in play. The team's going to start to crunch in onto the middle. This roadside to the southwest of water treatment is going to be tricky to navigate, and it looks like Jamba are going to try and do so, try and keep themselves alive. S2G, find out just how tough it can be to move past this location. Yeah, smart play there from Tianba. They go ahead and move, and they take this gas station. They realize one of the players from S2G are isolated. Easy point lockdown. That's going to hurt S2G, leaving them with 3. That's an elimination for Tianba, and a slightly better position as well. So this gas station is pretty solid if the zone shifts away from them. The most important thing, though, is protecting those vehicles. It's very weak to that hill behind them. So they're going to have to put them in some different spots just in case the zone does shift. I mean, it is that road that they are sat right next to that is so difficult to cross right now for teams out on the northeast side, which is why you're seeing so many teams committing down to the southwest edge, right? So being a little bit more uncomfortable, a little bit too close for comfort, but you don't have that major blockage of trying to get across that open ground, which is going to be difficult for Vitality, unless they can find a big opener, crack the can open with that AWM, land that shot, and try and find that pick. Ooh. Oh, that's Aurora. A huge one.
Aurora getting spotted. I think 4 Thrives are getting stuck into the fight. 4 thrives, 4 players alive. Aurora having one of their players flushed away, and now Hazaifa close up into the fight. The pump action for Reapers, trying to hold the door, but the SK-12 has a couple more rounds behind it, and Ziol goes down quickly too, with 4 elims already on the card. Aurora going to be contributing to the points tally for 4 thrives fairly soon, it looks like. Doc goes down. Wow. The big boom through the window. And Aurora ain't got nothing in the face of 4 thrives, who look to mark the start to their ascendancy.
And the crowd goes wild here in Paris, France. The 4 thrives fans are chanting their name. This is what they want to see. Aurora, who has been crushing it here so far. So that's the 4th place team out. 4 thrives.
Really,
really strong to start the day.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how you want to kick things off. But remember, as we said before, it is a marathon today. Can't allow yourself to get tired out. I mean, it's excellent when you find those moments, when you find those octane, high adrenaline moments.
rain pusher है किधर वाला किधर बैठा है यार.
Have their heads screwed on tight so that they can keep their nerve for the rest of the day as well. And there is still much more of this match to play, so they have to work a lot. The position where they are right now, against Dodgy Red Force, I feel like they potentially could have a good time, but they're going to have to shift northwest away from their current location, past San Martin. I would say I was going to say 2 teams, but it's 1 plus another player, plus the last player alive. Flash that was dealt with earlier by 4 thrives himself.
अच्छी तरीके से बना के आप रिजॉन भी नहीं है ना इधर. और
this one, but this is still outside the circle, just to that bottom right side. San Martin.
nice.
This is a whole other fight in the northwest now as well. Are able to fight down maybe.
ये रे दौड़ भाई दोनों तबाही. यानी अरे इसका पकड़ा यार.
Oh dear.
Oh no, no.
That's a real bozo play right there coming through. That's max match for the end of the day.
Someone's got away with it too, you know what I'm saying? But our observers just too good, right? So I had to show the replay real quick just to get this, right? That is where it's at, yeah. So unfortunate for Aurora. And it just goes, and I'm telling you,
इस वाले भी भाग गया. इसको पता था कि 40 है, भाग गया.
$500 million for first place. And it's little mistakes like this that hurt. But we can see Crazy with the AWM starting to put in some work.
Looks to try and split the seams. A team that's hold on the longhouse, but you know what you have to do when they're holding down the longhouse. We know what Milu can do at least. Vitality want to try and find it. The res comes through. Milu is low HP, but he can get some healing done. Crazy is close by. Another step forwards, but staying on the rooftops here is bold from QZZ. It may just work. In response is brutal. And another to follow it up. Over towards Aching. Now only 1 player in the longhouse. Milu looking to try and hold it down. With the Molotov burning, it's going to slow it out, but there's the back coming through from Axel. Where's the backup coming from Eagle? He's too far away to get involved here. The name dribbles down the stairs. Might prove to be difficult to get past there. Does go down. And the reses still yet to come through. 3 players now for Vitality on the inside. Nate's cooking. Axel with a long one. Up to the top floor. May just blast from apart, but Eagle is just chilling. What is going on?
He's leaving it to Milu, saying, you got this, bro. I guess you don't got this, as Axel gets the nade on him. So that is Tiamba just getting picked apart here. And really unfortunate for them, but you know what? Vitality soaking up some good points.
I mean, the Eagle is away. It is what you want to see. I'm not entirely sure what he's trying to do. Keep that full position, but the rest of your team's dead, mate. You need to do something about that. Vitality were able to run through there. They got a really great opener with that AWM that we were talking about. The carry on the position. He was able to keep that momentum rolling. The roof and a couple of more positions beside. Abino looking to stop the run out. Vitality. Different central.
अजय स्क्वाड यही है।
Vitality to help the team out. I know that there is an AWM somewhere around there. And, oh, nice shots there. They know exactly where he is. Say, oh, you have this down. Oh, that headshot though. So okay, how about you like some of that? So, oh, that looks like it is Eagle coming down. Oh, there's the AWM. Crazy's got it. It's a
वो अभी फोटो निकाल ले।
There you go over the rock.
यही।
Coming through from the shot. At the end of the AWM barrel, beautiful stuff. They baited him into thinking it was a rifle fight as well. Tickle trades, and then he was like, I'm gonna win this trade surely. And it was like, he didn't expect that. Claps back and immediately now Godlike down to 2 players alone. After losing one earlier to Horror on that northwest edge. Oh, teasing. That's not good news.
से एलिमिनेशन निकाल चुके हैं। ओ ये टीम पुणे और अंदर 7 एलिमिनेशन हो गए।
See Vitality. Just to show you folks, the bolt action can change the game for you. And it works out here. AWM.
प्लेयर नहीं घुमाना भाई।
I can see the rest of Godlike.
ऐसे खेलते रहना आराम से। चिकन चाहिए भाई चिकन।
Vitality is, they know they have the numbers here though, so they're like, all right, we got to be a couple players of Godlike somewhere. Can't just run into these buildings for free. Just trying to get a little bit of information. And yeah.
चलिए गए।
Possibly catch somebody off guard. But here we go into the end game. Stage 5. Circle starting to close. And this is an interesting one. I mean, we still have San Martin in play. A lot of open field though as well. You can see Aaron getting in some headshots on So Easy. And now here comes Team Vitality on the push.
And they're going to roll around. 2 players now remain for Godlike. Morales leads the charge into the position as Power first to face. Molotov on the window. Oh, it down! Now as Power on the inside has more to say. There's the pressure on the end of the SK-12.
ओए फुल मुझे पता है।
But it's speaking loud with it. And he looks for more as well. 3 players fall at the feet of Power. And he looks for the flushes to keep it going. Manya will not be in this fight just yet.
what
As he
can
tosses
you
for
use
another
for
flush.
the-
And in comes the backup. Manya.
He hit him with the Molotov, and now Razak is down to 1 HP, and now he's here! S-Power with the 1v4!
One product is in.
Going through for Godlike on the north side. Vitality, they thought they'd taken enough out of them, but no, the gas in the tank.
Let's get this going. Are you kidding me? Day 2 of the finals starting off hot here. Multiple 1v4s. S-Power at the end of the day yesterday said the domination begins, and now it has begun.
Unleashing that luxurious hair, sweeping it left and right. Little shotgun shells ringing out in the ears of his enemies. Vitality have no idea what hit him. Milu, S-Power, these long-house shotgun plays, I'm telling you, man, there's something special about it. I love to see it. I absolutely adore it. With 5 eliminations now in the game, Godlike looking to keep their march going, but they have to get across some open ground here. The arena will be fully aware of what has just occurred on their north side. They should know exactly what has unfolded, and crossing this open ground is going to be difficult. I imagine it's more likely it could just be taken a little bit more coverage to the time goes over. See, Rasmus has turned out to look so hot here. Blue tie 1-4 earlier. Next in the 4 points. On the other circle. He has good position. This is still high zone. So we have to up here. Let's ride and do this part. This is stage 6. That's trying to get out. So we go ahead and get that field up. Yeah, already. He's on out. You thought. Yeah, you thought. Down he goes. On that side. All too easy to pick up a point there. They're now on to 6 eliminations. And that will hopefully bolster them.
You could do enough.
As well. I mean, I said I was
Finish.
thinking they were going to map east. I didn't say I thought it was going to be successful. It's still a really tricky approach here. And down goes Mania. But they have left an impression on this map. Godlike can hold their heads high on their route out of this game.
It's plays like that do the difference, right? I mean, from a big jump in prize.
Idea वाला क्या कर रहे हैं?
So, Godlike losing players early, still some good points on the board on the back of that 1v4. Looking on over to Enigma Galaxy though, what are they gonna do? They got their eyes set onto Ida, and it looks like Hoops does get caught though on the transition by Sky, but he should be able to get safe here in res. I like the fact that Rauf is starting to throw some util up on top just to buy his teammates some time, and they should be able to get the reset here.
I mean, that was a long-range assist coming through. Hora on that north side, I think that's at least 300, if not 4, away. And that's a really helpful hand over towards Ida to leave Nigma Galaxy on 2. Ralph now in position to potentially look for the res, suppress the runouts here with those 2 nades lying in wait. Darkin mollying the corner. That's actually going to help
them.
The res coming through. So for Ida, they're keeping them on the outside, sure, but they're keeping themselves on the inside as well, which is going to allow Nigma Galaxy to get back to fighting form, and they're in the zone too. E-Arena versus Aura on the north side, though, that looks like it could get nasty soon.
Yeah, I think Ida are just kind of holding him out here because they realize the zone is coming and the edge of this might be outside of it, but let's see how the play ends up reading out. Satan throwing in some nades in there, trying to get that crucial first knock. Rita trying to make some plays. Oh, the off angle here from Ida is going to be huge. Let's see what he can do from that spot.
Could have been huger, but I think he just dropped the nade into the sand dune instead of throwing it over towards the opponents there. Not quite as efficacious as you need it to be. You can see on the picture-in-picture there's fights across the map. Horror really suffering against the arena as Nigma Galaxy still hold the stay on over. Ida on the run out now, rolling around the edge. Henry goes down, and there is just a cacophony of shotgun shells blasting them back. A tide of lead sweeps them straight back in the door they ran out from.
I'm so shocked that they ran out like that. Let's see what Nigma Galaxy can do on this push, though. Darkin's up on top. Coops in the front line with the S12K. That's the weapon you want in the CQC. The best close quarters combat gun in the game. Now let's see what Ralph can do. Everybody shotguns out. Oh, nice play there from Ida, catching some little angles there, peppering up the side of Ralph. These guys are level 3'd out of their minds, though, right now.
Oh, goodness me. There's the off angle. I think that's E-Arena taking shots across the way, because, of course, E-Arena did clean up the fight with Horror just a moment ago as well. Hot Jukes on that northern side. They got some really big openers with a couple of nades on board, and were able to convert.
Oh, the bounce!
What a bank on the nade there from Coops. And now just one player on the top floor, and the shotguns are going to continue to put the pressure down. But there is still a little bit more left to fight, as Nigma Galaxy are taking shots from across the way. They get rid of Ida, but now Ulf step into their shoes. Take down one Turkish team. Another one's here to play.
Gus benar-benar disupport banget. Saya senang banget bisa difasilitasi buat bisa jadi co-stream di sini. Dan untuk viewers di live chat, mereka semua senang karena melihat peralatan yang proper ada di sini.
First of all, I just want to say this is like the best equipment I have ever found. This is like a full equipment that I never even used myself. So it's just like a very surreal experience so far. Yeah.
Well, and Jang, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here at EWC. PMWC has 2 more days of competition, and we can't wait to see you on your co-stream popping off. So thank you so much for joining us in this interview. Enjoy the rest of your experience here, and we'll check back in with you on Sunday. Back to you guys.
ไม่ออกติดกูหันหลังสมองนะเอาเลยนะขวาตัวเดียวที่เหลืออีกตัวนึงนะอยู่ซ้ายก็จอดนะมีแกก็มีตาสุดตัวเดียวตรงนั้นตัวเดียวให้ผมดิไอ้ก็เจนเกอร์ลึกกันเราเกอร์รอได้คิวป่ะตัวท้ายได้หมดเลย
E-Arena coming in hot, wanting to maintain that first place. And boy, what a start for this team here in Day 2, even though we're going to be playing some matches from Day 1. Still, E-Arena, this is what we've been wanting to see, especially when you teased us with the 29 eliminations.
Yeah, I was like, we cannot afford to see a flash in the pan kind of performance from E-Arena, but man, they delivered. I will say, the reason why they won is some teams doing some mistakes, right? We'll dive into it a little bit deeper here with Natura, but man, E-Arena putting up the 10 placement points from that chicken dinner, 10 eliminations on top of that. They were already number 1.
Yeah.
And now they're creating a gap.
Yes.
Hey, it seems like this tournament might be the chase after the White Rabbit.
Absolutely. Like, you've got Nigma Galaxy coming in here. They were in 3rd place coming into the first game here, so they've done a bit to extend that gap a little bit more. But you've got Ulf, you've got 4 Thrives. Those kinds of teams, they're also bringing some heat to the game here, Lace.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going on about still this first 29 match. Did you guys have eyes yesterday? E-Arena, have been performing the entire time. This ain't even their first chicken dinner. They have actually had so much progression through every single match. It's been amazing to watch. Yeah, we're going to revert back to that, that huge statement they made in the group stages, but their consistency has been key.
Yeah, and for Nigma Galaxy, it's all about that goose moves because this man has been performing. He actually baited Furia into rushing him after they were able to eliminate Lord, and Coops was able to handle them all by himself.
He got the revenge he was looking for. I mean, Coops, you know that we were missing him during PMGO Season 1, and he's been putting up the numbers. But look at this. Let's quickly go through that 1v4 scenario. During this entire fight, Coops is on the mountain, uncontested, and this is not a position you should be willing to push. I feel like this is a big fumble from Furia. This is not a fight you should be even willing or even thinking about taking. And Coops here, having the time, going to flush the elimination, denying extra information from Furia. But this grenade, one of the best grenades of the tournament, a Maxman grenade of the day, as he gets that 1v2 and then sprays him down from a distance. He gets the headshot, eliminates the final player. What an insane clutch, but so did S-Power Niptura.
Didn't he just? I mean, I wanted to replay this because look at what he's able to do here. This guy is a machine. The angles, the quick flicks.
Oh!
He's using these angles. He gets that one. He realizes that Razak is coming around, gets that elimination, and then he knows he doesn't have time to heal up, so he throws the Molotov in there, tries to come out, tries to get these angles going, and that is just buys enough time for his teammate to come on in.
Yeah.
The Molotov will go forward. It's fantastic.
I gotta say, that Molotov he put to try and clear his backside, that was one of the best Molotov. That is a global level Molotov coming out from his power. He is showing he has what it takes to be up here.
Absolutely. I love what we're seeing from him today.
I love what we're seeing out of him today as well. I love what we were seeing out of 4Thrives in this last match. 4Thrives being very aggressive, especially with being able to chase some of the other teams. Talking about chasing too. We got a chance to see Enigma Galaxy versus Ida towards the end as well. It doesn't matter, Max, and Lace and Aptura, if it's Pachinki, it doesn't matter where it's at. Enigma Galaxy has their number, but when we're talking about some of the other teams, 4Thrives versus Aurora.
Yes.
We gotta mention that because it was so quick, and then Doc with them.
We're not going to talk about Aurora. We're not going to talk about it.
I'll talk about 4Thrives though. Look, they had such an immense sort of split hold in the hillside while Aurora was sort of making their rotate, and it was only a matter of time before they were able to do that. And what we were obviously touching on yesterday is their pacing. So obviously when they get that first contention and then following up with the fight, their pacing is back to what we want to see. So it's very, very impressive that they were able to do that. Unfortunately, they did have IQ at the southern side trying to find a position in zone whilst that contention was going on. Nongshim Red Force was sort of running up the eastern side, so they kind of like fell a little bit short there trying to move in because there wasn't much cover for them to sort of progress through that. And I mean, then it was just down to, you know, a little solo, and unfortunately he was found out because Top actually was sitting on top of a building, and that's probably the best spot and the only spot that could have been played.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very, very, very happy with 4Thrives. T24 especially coming in clutch there. He's back on that long range with the mini. He's back supporting his teammates really, really well. And the whole squad is just looking very, very different from yesterday into today. They're looking very confident. They look like they know what they're doing. They have those final decision-making skills back and at him. And here we see him, 6th place, coming in clutch here.
That's right, 4Thrives being able to jump up that leaderboard with 33 points. But E-Arena with the win starting to create that gap, Max. And this is something that we're going to have to keep a close eye on what kind of gap we're going to be seeing from 1st place to 2nd place and the rest of the teams.
I'm really happy with the Arena, right? Of course, you're looking at the consistency. You remove their 2 chicken dinners, their non-games. Like, they're a little bit low on the placement point side of things, but you know what? You can still get 2 chicken dinners over the course of what is that 5 games. That's an insane win ratio. So it kind of takes out of the equation the consistency when you get these big wins. But though, going on to the 2nd page, one team I really want to highlight here, Niptura, is Hora. I feel like this should have been at least bare minimum a podium finish.
Yes.
But the moment E-Arena just slightly started pushing up on the mountain, they crumble and they give the high ground position for free. I think Hora really threw that game.
They're not the only ones. Ulf did the exact same thing. They did the exact same thing here. And hopefully they don't do it again.
Hora threw that game, but I did like the aggressiveness that we got a chance to see out of Hora, and I'm hoping that it's going to continue on here. Let's see what's going to be happening on the 2nd mirror. Because it's getting spicy here. Hot Jukes. John.
Legendary John Allen, 1 game down and a whole bunch more to go.
Oh, yeah, we've got our 2nd Miramar today. of which we're going to be treated to 4 Miramars over the course of today. We're going to end on 12 matches played total of our 18-match set. We're going to set that smash boundary. A lot to play for today. And if the arena can continue to perform in the way that they are, that smash boundary is going to be so far away from everybody else.
Yeah.
It's not even going to be worth thinking about.
And that is what they're going to be doing. You heard Max say it earlier. Everyone's going to be chasing the White Rabbit here in this tournament. You can see the fans are so hyped, excited, beauty side of things, pumped up, waiting for them to start making something. Unfortunately, they got taken out by Coops in that one. It is what it is, but a bounce back is imminent. That's for sure. First place, $500 million. Second place, $250,000. So a lot of money is on the line here, folks. And let's see which team is going to push themselves and try to catch E-Arena.
It's not just about that cold, hard cash. It's about that warm feeling in your heart when you realize you are the new champions here at the PMWC, at the EWC. For 2026, there's no team here to defend that title, right? Alpha 7, don't know where they've gone. They must have gone home or something, you know, something like that. Yangon Galacticos also not making it to these finals, but it's time for another team to sit on that throne, to sit atop the rest.
Let's
get things going.
Yeah, let's see which team it's going to be here. Southern playing path here on this one.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're mixing things up for sure. And this is going to be that second Miramar match. So after this one, if it wasn't hot already, we're going in Toronto, right? That's going to be a crazy change of pace. Top players so far, you can see Milu right there, 3,000 damage. What a day this guy had yesterday, man. Everything considered, this guy is an absolute monster. And let's just see where Tianbo will end up. All these teams, so many big names, so many top squads. Enigma Galaxy, honestly, I really want to give this squad so much props. I mean, to be in second place, considering that these guys dealt with so many hot drops, is pretty insane.
Yeah, over on Erangel, it certainly was the main feature of their early game. Fortunately for them, though, Ida didn't do anything other than just sort of give points to them, it seemed like. So it was kind of only really one map where 4 Thrives actually third-partied it in that hot drop, where Enigma Galaxy didn't actually have a pretty okay start to their Erangels, right? So for me, it's definitely Ida that needs to move today, but we'll be seeing that later on. And they have been able to profit quite nicely. I mean, you get those 4 points right at the start of the match. That's a good profit already. Yeah. Right? I was talking about how I want to see consistency across a lot of games, across the whole set, rather than just these big pop-offs once or twice over the course of it. And that's exactly what you want, right? If you're able to get 4 points, it's not unlikely you can get 1 or 2 more, and that is a massive boon to your point scoring tally. That's what Enigma Galaxy have been able to find.
Yeah, and again, fortunately for them, it works out with the fact that Seven's not here. They're taking El Bozo, which is one of the highest loot areas, if not the highest, in this map. So they're going to be very, very well kitted. They've made some great plays this tournament so far. And yeah, you know, we were talking about them in Erangel. Ida did feed them, essentially, but you still got to beat them. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy to win a hot drop and keep everybody up. And they're able to do it time and time again, but E-Arena catching out IQ 4 Thrives. That's a huge loss for them.
Oh, that is nasty. Not a good opener, and a pretty great opener for E-Arena. Put themselves now on 69 points total.
Nice.
And they get a free buggy delivery. What more could you ask for? Unfortunate there for 4 Thrives to be losing a player like that. That's a little bit careless, I think, in my book. Should have been a little bit more aware of the surroundings, but not to be. E-Arena causing problems already this match.
Man, E-Arena making it happen. Looking on over to 4 Thrives saying "Kapkun krap." That means thank you in Thai.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Very, very happy so far. 69 points on top of leaderboards. and only just beginning. That smash point threshold is going to be where it's at. So if Irina have just they continue to have such a fortuitous day today, their goal should be to just set that point threshold so dang high that nobody can possibly smash in the final day. Now, so far in the history, we've seen one team smash at an international event. That's going to be Nongshim Red Force, and that was just earlier this year at the PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational. It was, I believe, Furia that was on top with the most points, but Nongshim Red Force won that final game just by the skin of their teeth, and that automatically made them the champs. So
yeah, I think it was a 1 point. They were 1 point behind the leaders as well, so they needed to win via smash. It wasn't just a case of winning the game. So a really nice ending for them there, but that's that fairy tale not really converting over to Paris, unfortunately, for Nongshim Red Force. So at the moment, they're in 9th place. Still very much doable, but they have got a little bit of a way to go on that one.
yes, they do. They gotta make sure that they just stay secure in the end game here. Can't afford any slip-ups at all. Gotta be able to make some plays. Man, that 1v4 earlier from S-Power was so dang hype. They're still having a rough day of it so far, though. 13th place. We haven't even reached the halfway point of this tourney, though, so they still got plenty of time to bounce back. But if they want to win this thing, they've already kind of burned through the bad games that they can already afford. They really need to start putting up some good, solid, consistent points here. Because when you see Irina on top, that's a major threat. I mean, we've seen this team earlier in this tournament break a PUBG Mobile record for the most points. Again, so silly that they didn't make it into that into the finals off of it.
Well,
but they got some little extra, survival cash, I guess.
Yeah, sure. But that's the point, right? It's a huge, massive, incredible game. Wow, brilliant, bright lights and billboards, sure. But then they weren't able to do much after that. So it was a big fall off coming through from Irina, and to that end, they didn't deserve to make it straight to the grand final through that. So to be able to come through survivals, fantastic. Okay, now they've started to really up that game, keep that momentum going. This is a much better scenario, which is kind of why what I was alluding to before is I prefer this chicken dinner that we just saw from Irina to the one that we saw in Rondo in terms of quality, in terms of an indicator for what we might expect for the rest of this phase.
Yeah, and we got to be honest too. I mean, these guys very luckily made it here into the finals. They were barely able to pass up the Wolves.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, to see them barely make it in, at least I think it gives a lot of relief, right? Because for all the Wolves fans out there, they're like, we were so close.
Yeah.
But for Irina to actually pop off, it's like, okay, you know what? The team that made it deserved it, right? Like, they're actually doing something here. And if they were at the bottom of the leaderboards, it'd be like, kind of a waste. But they're not messing around. I think that the way this tournament fared for them so far was kind of a perfect storm, right? Because they had the record, don't make it. They barely make it here, and I think that really just lit a fire in them to be like, you know what? We got to just play our game. Let's go full-fledged aggro. And that's what's happening, because they are just pushing team after team after team as a full squad and just picking them apart little by little.
A lot of teams will unravel under that kind of pressure. Need to keep your mind thinking forwards. We saw some monumental plays in that last game, so
yeah,
I'm hoping that the nerves aren't going to be too rattled for a couple of our squads. It's going to be difficult, not only on the losing side of those fights, but again on the winning side of those fights, because in those scenarios that adrenaline just hits your system, and it can end up, once it drains out after the end of the game, that can be a real detriment to your performance. And that's when you need to rely on the rest of your team, on the advice of your coach, on the feeling of comfort, hopefully, that you can find with the rest of it, to be able to absorb the impact of falling from that great height.
Yeah. And okay. Well, speaking of height, right? The zone goes all the way up to the tippy top here.
Going back.
Yeah, near Crater Fields, near the Hacienda de Patron area. We just saw this circle very not too long ago in the last match. So teams are going to be trying to take a similar spot to what they had here. Irina, like, yeah, why don't we go to that same spot we were at last time? We won from there. We'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit further west. It does keep a lot of those crater fields areas in, but it is very similar. You're right in terms of that location. Aurora spotting a player from Furia, but Coops will not stop in just one game. He's going to find shots onto them again. I feel like they should definitely be aware of his location this time around. But losing a player, you know, for Furia, that's not a good feeling. That is not a good feeling.
Yeah, that's Miramar for you. It's tough. I mean, you're trying to rotate, and losing players on rotation is a rite of passage here. You try to avoid it as much as possible, but just sometimes there can be that one guy there waiting for you. You can see Godlike getting peppered up from Lost, and all these players just lost, and all these players just
that south side, so a powerful position for them to hold if they can maintain it. A little crash between Flash over on the east side and Vitality. That very quickly concludes with one casualty. Win trying to get some revenge, but not really connecting as Razak bumbles over the top, but doesn't eat damage either.
There goes Vitality, rotating away. They take that elimination and run with it. Federalis driving outside of the zone here, maybe looking for another vehicle. Seems that's what they have their eyes on here. No fear, popping out the buggy though. Going to be putting some pressure onto Aurora. They're on the rotation and they're going to get caught out by Ulf. No Fear's going to push up a little bit closer here. Scarface through the nade into the building, catches out top, and that is Aurora getting picked apart here in match number 2.
Only one player now left standing. I do not think Doc is going to get the backup. He is over 500, probably about 700 meters away from them right now in the shadow of Nigma Galaxy on the west side. You just can't move. This is an easy set of flushes coming through. Ulf have got this roadside compound. They got quite a decent amount of cover. It's Horror who sit on their northwest across the road, up on that high ground. So for them, for Ulf, I'm feeling like they're fairly safe. This next circle might put more pressure on them, but being as central as they are, it's unlikely.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty. They don't pretty much have to move very much. Yeah, they don't have to move at all here with this next circle. Vitality, though, over there by water treatment, they're going to have to push on in. Near Nongshim Red Force on the south side are going to have to get into some battles here very, very shortly. And that's just because Nongshim always land on that southern end. So a northern circle like this makes them late to the circle. We'll see what their decision-making is here as Tianba looking to put themselves in a slightly more central position as Sleepy gets a nice knock there on Aaron.
S2G are also pushing in from this northeast side. Aaron down allows Tianba to move in. Eagle and Milu in with the same vehicle, but there's a beautiful spray down. What a response coming through from Solus, holding in the face of the push. QZ wants to try and turn it around, but Solus has more left in the ammunition bank. We'll find a third. Looking for now the last player of Tianba. QZ with the M249 is being hunted. Ketch steps into the fight as well to assist his teammate, but there is still more to do. QZ won't go down, but he finally falls, and Solus stands in the face of Tianba. Says not today.
Not today indeed, as Ulf with a beautiful stiff arm onto Tianba. And oh, you can see the pressure is on. You can see the player catch relieved after that one. What a play from Solus, though, to be able to shut him down.
There you go. Tian bounced out of that compound. It was not to be. I mean, what a lineup there. A little bit wayward on the crash. It felt discoordinated between the two players in the vehicle. Not quite what you want to see from Tianba. I don't want to say lazy. I feel like it was being harried by Horror with the off angles there on the northwest side. S2G were putting pressure on the back of that, and it became a little bit too chaotic. They couldn't quite find their way through it. There was no way that they could navigate that storm, unfortunately. But for Solus, that is a monumental clip farm. Not quite a 1v4, Jukes, but it was pretty damn close.
That's as close to a 1v4 as it gets here, folks. I'm telling you, big plays coming out of here in the finals. Axel getting naded up pretty good, peppered by Al-Ula. Let's look at the replay here. Solus with these headshots. Taking out that duo. And still finding himself good movement here. Yeah, as soon as he sees QGZ, comes on out, pops a nade on accident, and gets the knock.
Oh, okay,
What
we're
a
back
play.
in with Alola versus Vitality. One over the top, looking for another as well. There are 3 players alive on side for Alola, but there is damage pouring back over towards Vitality as Razy now and Axel have to step into the fight to try and keep this one going. Razak gets shut down though as S2G are flowing out to third party on the north side here. Kamikaze, Solke, both moving into position. Lost is out on a north wide flank too.
And Axel trying to find some high ground here, trying to find an off angle. Razy just forced her to just run out in the open, no vehicle to his name. Trying to be able to help out Federalis. Federalis is knocked, and it looks like he will be thirsted here because it's taking a long time. Meanwhile, S2G decided to just back things up. Say, you know what, we don't want none of this. This zone going down south. Let's prioritize that instead. And Razy is going to start cresting that hill. Can he spot out one of these players of Alula? He sees Rep. When he's going to take that shot? No, does not see a good sight line. Decides to back on up.
Yeah, it doesn't have the team shots to be going, well, doesn't have a team to take shots with. Is more accurate here for Razy. You need to be 100% sure that you can lock down a knock, or maybe even a flush. Ida getting rolled down by Orangutan there. Nicely done, but there's still a little bit more to do. Ida being devastated yet again. Rita now the last to stand. Aru and a tanky about face for another approach. Rita cooking a nade to try and slow things down, but there's an off angle coming through from Arena, who is stepping up and forcing him over the ridgeline into the firing line of Orangutan, who get 4 elims on the game and send Ida packing.
There we go, and that's going to be the 15th place team so far. Starting to turn things up, but here we go. It's the White Rabbits battling it out against 4 Thrives. Turney K getting the flushes. It's all up to Falak, and it ain't going to be good enough. Arena just putting in that work, and they're going to keep their whole team alive.
And back up they get. Nicely done, nicely done. We saw Razy doing a lot of work against Alola. Hang on a minute. This is a solo? A solo against Alola on the north side? Where did that come from? Razy's popping off on the north as a solo.
3 eliminations. Razy putting the points here for Team Vitality. The Indo squad looking good here as they're going to be pushing into this next zone. And we're looking at this next circle as it is just south of Crater Fields. You got OG on that southern end right next to Arena. That battle should happen out any soon. And now you got Enigma Galaxy right next to Nongshim Red Force as well. Let's see how they're going to play this out. Coop's got that Mini 14 looking for that long-range headshot.
I'm also looking at S2G on the northeast side of the circle right now, Jukes. They have to push it. And as a 4, do you go in the shadow of Aura, or do you try and sweep down and push past Flash? But it is a difficult approach for S2G, and they do not have long to make that choice. I feel like they are committed much more up to the north edge and could potentially challenge Horror on that northern side.
Let's see how this is going to play out. Schwepp's got the high ground as well. This is still only stage 4 here, folks. Admino does get knocked, though, from Godlike and flushed. So it's only going to be 2 players up for the side of Godlike.